Welcome back to The American Dream. Now we're getting some real estate market insight with my next guest, realtor and top producer with HomeSmart, Kim Panozzo, and her special guest today, Tina Tamboer. She is a senior housing analyst with the Cromford Report. Ladies, thank you so much for being back on the show.
Hi, thank you.
Well, Tina, I want to start with you, and you're the analyst here, so I'm going to ask you some very analytical questions now. How dramatic is the supply shortage in Phoenix, and does it go across all price points?
No, actually it doesn't. Overall, our supply line is about 14% below where we were this time last year, but it vastly differentiates themselves by price point. So when we look at our under 200,000 market, they're actually down the largest amount, is almost 33%. Once you get into the 200 to 300 range, you're right around 12 to 14% down from last year. Then once you get over 300 to up to $1 million, they're around 5 to 10% down, so not that bad. But there's only one price point that's actually above last year's supply line, and that is the $1 to $2 million range. And they're up about 2.2%.
Kim, as a realtor, what are you seeing on your end? How is this supply shortage affecting your business?
Well, especially under that 300,000, where a lot of buyers, it's the affordable price point. We're finding that it's very competitive. We're multiple offers. We are going out and showing lots of homes because they're going under contract so quickly as well. So I'm finding that's the hardest price point for me. That mid-range price point is very comfortable. And like she said, over that $1 million price point, we do have a lot to choose from.
Tina, how is the market doing as far as year-to-date sales volume?
Actually, our year-to-date sales volume is outperforming last year almost 5%. We're at about 4.8%. It was a much larger improvement from 2017 versus 2016, but it's not quite as high as we would expect it to be with as hot as the market is. But again, because of the low supply, especially under 200,000, really the only price point that has seen a drop in year-to-date sales is under 2, and that's down 20%. Every other price point is actually almost 20% higher than it was this time last year. And ironically, the one price point that has more supply is up the most. Over 40% more sales are happening between $1 and $2 million year-to-date than they did at this time last year.
So do interest rates make a difference? And what is the cost of waiting for a buyer?
Interest rates do make a difference, but they're not the only indicator that will affect, say, your price line, especially appreciation. When we start to look at which areas are appreciating the most, interest rates don't necessarily take a buyer out of the market. What happens is they buy a smaller home. And so what gets people nervous is as property values are rising, and then on top of that, the interest rate goes up, it actually spurs people to get off the fence, ironically. So we'll have a big boost of demand temporarily until they kind of settle down. And sometimes if it goes up too sharply, we'll see a little bit of freezing where people don't know what to do yet. So we don't really like to see the interest rates jump around. We like a nice gradual increase if that's what's going to happen. But the cost of waiting is this. If you're worried about the mortgages going up, it doesn't even help you to rent because our rents have gone up almost 30% since 2014, and they don't seem to be slowing down a whole lot right now. So you can either pay more in rent or you're going to be paying more in a mortgage payment. The one thing with a mortgage payment is you can get that stable for 30 years. You don't know what rents are going to be doing. So in terms of the cost of waiting, it's square footage. On average, in almost every price point, the cost of waiting a year is about 50 square feet. And just to give you a guideline, that's about the size of a king-size bed.
Wow.
So, and that just means you may have less space in your laundry room, less space in your hallways, a little less space to move around. And that's generally what the cost is.
Well, a property that we shouldn't wait on, Kim, is this beautiful listing that you've brought with you today to show us. I know that there are some incredible mountain views and possibly the potential to even have some horses on this property.
Oh, yes. So this house is out in Cave Creek, which is a very popular area for the people that have horses. And Cave Creek itself is such a wonderful lifestyle. If you like to ride horses and go down to look at the Oh gosh, the bars down there, Harold's, people that ride motorcycles. Like, it's such a fun place to live, and this house is amazing. It has the house itself is like 3,100 square feet, and it has a guest house with a full kitchen as well. So I'm really, really happy to show this listing today.
Well, it sounds absolutely beautiful. And of course, we know the first rule of real estate: location, location, location. Ladies, thank you
That's
so much for
right.
being on the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And if you have any other questions, reach out to us online, AmericanDreamNetwork.tv, and we'll be right back with more of the show.
You just heard from award-winning realtors about your marketplace. It's one thing to find your dream home. It's another thing to finance it. I've traveled the country to find the best mortgage experts in every city. You're going to hear from yours in a Mortgage Minute right now. Let's check it out.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Now we've got your mortgage update with Kelly Zitlow. Hey, Kelly, we hear that interest rates are rising. Is this a true story? Tell us. The rumors aren't true, are they?
They are. But, historically, I think it's really important at this point to kind of look back at where rates have been over time. So I like to give people perspective, because although interest rates are up from where they have been, let's say over the last 5 years, they're still historically low. And so here's a little insight. If we go back to 1985, the average home loan rate exceeded 12%. If we look at the year 2000, the average home loan rate exceeded 8%. So today, although interest rates are a little bit higher than they were last year, they're still in the mid to high fours. So still a fantastic time to buy, sell, or refinance.
So maybe a little higher than what we're used to, but still historically low. Kelly, thank you so much.
Absolutely. You're welcome.
That's all for today's show. Hey, don't forget, we're way more active online than what you see on cable. Make sure you follow us there as well on social media. Just do it on your phone. Just do it. You're thinking about it. Do it. Go to your phone. AmericanDreamNetwork.tv. We'd love to hear from you. Engage in the conversation. Of course, cheers to the American Dream. See you next time.
The preceding program was sponsored by Ignite Now Media with promotional consideration by Cornerstone Home Lending.